Hello, welcome back. So today I'll teach you how to do object-oriented programming in Java using GetterSetter methods. So similar to a previous video in Python GetterSetter object-oriented programming, I'll also do the same here in Java. So this time we'll use an IDE called the Apache NetBeans IDE 1.1. This is the latest NetBeans Apache, and all to do is just download this. Go to Google, NetBeans, download it here, and yeah, just the download. Download the latest, but as prerequisite, you need to also download and install JDK. And download this in Java SE, whatever needed. Prerequisite, I forgot the exact, but you need to download the JDK in Java SE for Apache NetBeans to work. So yeah, okay, once you install, we're ready to code. Alright, see, there are a lot of Java codes before. I used to practice a lot with this one. Yeah, but now we'll work on with the object oriented. So what you do is go to new file, since I already have a project. So if not, you create your new project and add a new file, but for this case I'll add a new file. So I'll add the main class. So this is project name, even project one. Now we call this employee main. I already exist, but main program. Let's add another. So I think I coded this before. It's a practice. So yeah, so we have this main file. In Java we have this main file we can run. And now before we try running, we create a employee class. Yeah, the Java and click class, and let's call this employee class. Yeah, okay, now we can create our class. So no employee class is our class name, so it's like the blueprint, a template of where you can create the employee object. So here we can have the methods, different methods, and class variables. Later I'll show it to you. So but first we need to create our instructor. So what is a constructor? This is a constructor, so it defines the class. So public employee class. Now it just have to be the same, so just repeat but no class. And yep, so what we gotta do is we can actually set parameters as blank here. So let's say, what do we need in employee class? We should have a name, right? So name equal this one, age is equal to 0. Since this is a variable integer, we need to initialize it to 0. Salary is also 0. Now what we have here, so unlike in Python, we need to declare the data type for Java. So here we got to initialize here in our variable here in the class, a class variable. So string data type name. Yeah, cool. Integer age, and finally maybe it's also name it int, since we don't have any decimals or floating points here. Yeah, now we define the class variables. Okay, now we have the constructor. So the constructor is mandatory. It's like the default within you can create the class out of it. So this will be instantiated later. So for that we should add another constructor which gets an input parameters. This time you should just replicate but employee class. This time we input a parameter. So yeah, we name this as a string name. For this one it's name string integer age and integer salary, and we add here, we pass in the variable. So we have this, we can actually use this dot name, which corresponds to this class variable. It's equal to name. Cool, right? This dot h is equal to h this dot salary equal to salary. So this statement just pertains to this class variable here. So yeah, pretty cool, right? Now we have two constructors. We can call them later once we instantiate to create the object instance of the object later. So yeah, now we need to have the getter and setter methods. So how do we do that? So we need public and we call it set employee name. We get the name for it, variable. Then we get the this dot name is equal to name. Pretty cool, right? What's the problem here? Return type, okay, void. So in Java you need to specify the method type, which is a void, which returns nothing, or the class later, or the data type. So this one just made it void. So public void, this will return nothing, just assign something. Now you need to add also for the set employee age. Now integer is age. Now this dot age equals to age. Cool. Finally we get the salary. Set employee salary, which we get the salary, and this dot salary is equal to salary. Alright, now we created the methods for the set of the employee, setting the employee name, employee age, and salary. Oops, wrong spelling. Employee age. Okay, nice. Now how to get the getter method, which will return the values here that we've set in the class variable. So what we're gonna do is create the getter methods. Now I can create by creating a string. So the string will be the return type of the method. Get employee name, and just simple enough. Don't have any parameters. Just return this dot name. Cool. Because I'm gonna return this. And now we also do same for the age and salary, but this time it's an integer type of return. So get employee age, return this dot age, and finally public string. Now it's a get employee salary. Nice. And return is that salary. Alright, now we completed the blueprint and structure of the employee class. But here we want to hide this because you can actually access it later. I'll show it to you later. So we now go to the employee main program. We can call this class by instantiating it. So how can we do that? So simply, this is the syntax for creating an instance of this employee class. So we first call the employee class. This is the how you define also in Java. You declare. So you use the class, then the instance of the class, which you can name anything, the standard naming convention, which I'll call it Dale, and new Dale. Yeah. Alright, we now used it. Now I never read, so later on. But as you can see, we already also have here another constructor which input parameters. We can only use that. So here we use a constructor with no parameters. Just set the we call this this dot name. I almost forgot. This means this is a class variable. Alright, we just set all to blank. Later we'll use set to set the values for it later, but you can also use this class. How about John? John is equal to new John. So we can name this as John. Follow the parameters that we set earlier, 35 and 200,000. Cool, right? Now, never read. So what we'll do here is you want to get the value of Dale. Let's try this first. So to use the methods that we assigned earlier, to use the instance name dot. So you can see the attributes or the classifiers can be accessed here. But what you want to do, and the most ideal, is you want to hide this access from the main. So what are we gonna do? So let's see. Out dot print ln. Okay. So we maybe use the age name first, and let's just copy all. Age. So you access the class variables in the main. Oops. We're just gonna read a 0, but we'll also use John here. We can make a comparison of the constructor. Alright. Instead of Dale, we use the John instance. John. It's never read. But why? Oopsie. I'm trying and it's gonna work. Iron is in it. So what's happening here? No. Should be employee class. Oh no. I'm sorry. Not new John. I used to remember the Python code for instantiation, so I got confused. Sorry about that. So yeah, employee class John equals new employee. So the new employee class is going to be instantiated or placed in the instance of this, which is John. So yeah, let's try running this. This will work now. As you can see, John 35 and blank. So it's blank here, 0 0. Now we don't want to access this, right? So what we're gonna do is use a private here, so we can encapsulate the data. Only the parameters will be changed using the values of those parameters will change using this getter and setter we did earlier. So I'm gonna make this private. Now the concept of encapsulation in Java programming is that you encapsulate only the necessary fields. So only you want to show the fields using the getter, etc. So make this private. So by using private, we follow the object-oriented programming of encapsulation concept of encapsulation object-oriented programming. Now when we try to run this, let's see what will happen. It's now red because private access, so it won't be accessed anymore. So what we want to do is, now I'll just delete this. So what I'm gonna do is use the setter. So the set employee name is the Dale. Cool. And we also set the employee age to 32, and Dale dot set the employee salary to 140,000. This now we want to get this instead of this one. We print now dot the print ln. The name is, and we add the get okay. Do that for age and salary. The age is salary is, let's see. Sorry about that. Now we also just get this instead of just printing out. So copy this one and yeah, paste this, but change the Dale to John. Try running this both. Maybe we add a system in the middle, so it create a blank space for readability. Okay, run this program that we created. Yeah, cool. The name is Dale32. So it was set to Dale32 of a blank constructor, and now this one we just print this using the getter because we haven't set something. So yeah, if we want to modify the value of this constructor, we probably add John dot set employee age to around 40 example. So the age should be 40 now instead of 35. So we run this. Yeah, it's now 40. So wow, this is how object-oriented programming works in Java. So this is the class. Made the class variables private, so it won't be accessed here, the main program. Then we define the constructor with no parameters. Set the class variable by using this to blank, and yeah, getting a parameter, then setting this name to the class variable and salary, and we set each parameters and return them all here. Return method. So yeah, that's all. Pretty simple and fun, right? So yeah, I hope you learned something here in or object-oriented programming in Java. So if you like and learn something, please like and subscribe and share the video. Okay, that's all everyone. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you and bye bye.